Okay, I want to do another video here. This video will be about, I'm just going to do a simple program in LabVIEW, just so you can get a feel for what it's like to work with me on LabVIEW programming. Well, like I said, I've been programming in this language for about 20 years. I was indoctrinated in LabVIEW at National Instruments. And, well, let me just, instead of talking to you about it, let me just show you how quickly and easily you can write a piece of code. So I just launched LabVIEW, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a program. Let me think about, I'm kind of thinking this up as the splash screen comes up. Well, first of all, I'm going to make a loop, a very simple loop, and I'm going to have the screen count up from 0 to 9, and then, well, I'm going to have it count from 0 to 9 in front of you on 1 second intervals. So, let's just continue to LabVIEW here. All right, so without worrying about projects and all that, I'm just going to very simply go straight to a new LabVIEW VI. VI means virtual instrument. Each VI has two parts to it. You have this darker colored screen, which is a front panel, and then you have this white screen back here, and this is the block diagram. Anytime I place something on a front panel, it will appear on the block diagram, and let me show you what I mean by that. I'm going to make a numeric indicator. I'm going to drop it on my front panel, and look, what happened is it passed through to my block diagram. There it is. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I told you I was going to make this count from 0 to 9 in 1 second intervals. The way that I'm going to do that is now I'm going to go to my block diagram. Right now it's showing a 0. I'm going to make it a little bigger so it's easier for you guys to see. If I can make it bigger. Grab it right on that corner. Alright, I was going to make it bigger. Actually, instead of 15-point application font, I'm going to go with size. I go to 24-point. That didn't really make much difference, did it? That's a little bigger. You should be able to see it. Alright, so now the way I'm going to get it to count is I'm going to use a thing called a loop. In order for me to get access to my functions, I right click and here they are, my functions. Okay? In the very first box there's structures, you know, things like loops. There's a while loop here and a for loop. I think I'm going to start out with a simple while loop. No, I'm going to go for loop. Let's start with the for loop. Alright. So if I put my for loop around my numeric, the way that LabVIEW is going to execute is it's just going to execute the loop over and over again. Anything inside the box is going to get executed over and over again. It's that simple. Alright. So I said I wanted to go from 0 to 9. I'm going to say create constant here. I'm going to do that. That's 0 to 9 is actually 10 counts. You know, computer people know this. And then I'm going to wire this iteration counter straight up to this output numeric. And what's going to happen is for every iteration of the loop, this 10 that I wired up to the end, it is telling the for loop to count through 10 iterations of the loop. The I iteration counter, it increments, it starts at 0 and goes up for every iteration of the loop. So, and then when I wire this counter to my numeric on the front panel, that means for all 10 iterations of the loop, it's going to take whatever's in the I counter on that iteration, and it's going to put it to that numeric indicator. It's going to transfer the value into the numeric indicator, and this is going to happen for each iteration of the loop. And then I'm going to do one other thing. If I run this right now, it's going to step through all 10 values so fast you won't even be able to see them. So I just hit this run button over here and I just ran it. Okay? I just ran the VI and look, all I saw was a 9 appear. I couldn't actually see it step through. So How can I actually see this process occur? I'm going to slow things down a little bit. I'm going to do that by grabbing this wait for so many milliseconds. I'm going to plop that down, and then I'm going to create a constant here, and I'm going to give it 1,000 milliseconds for each iteration. So now remember what I said was everything inside the loop iterates upon each, or executes upon each iteration of the loop. Now when I run the VI, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the VI stops. Okay, so this is the sort of program that I'm talking about I want people to be able to do in the class. I want, this is something we can do, and I can show you where the palettes are and get you comfortable just doing some simple things like this. And then from there, when people are comfortable with doing the simple things in LabVIEW, then when we want to interface to a piece of hardware, it's not such a stretch. You got to get used to this paradigm here, and that's what I'm trying to make happen. One other thing I'll show you is there's a debugging feature that's really cool. If I click this little light bulb looking thing over here and then I press run, you can actually see the values you kind of see them going across there as it executes each iteration of the loop. Alright, so you can see 1,000 there, 1,000 is going into the wait, and then it's on 6 right now, 7, 8. Alright, so that's not a very good example of highlight execution, but there's a graphical way to see what's going on in your code as it executes. Anyway, I just wanted to do that so you could get a feel for kind of a very entry level, the level of understanding. We can start at the very base level and get you comfortable with LabVIEW, and this is what I was hoping for our class.